Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm Mayor Paulette Guajardo, and I'm so excited. This is truly a historic day for Corpus Christi. And the reason that is, well, first of all, I want to thank everyone who's here to take the time out of their day to welcome and enter a new chapter in Corpus Christi for all of us. So it's exciting and it's historic because we are adding not just an assistant city manager or an addition to our team, but we are adding a whole new level of what this city is going to experience in this new era of progress that we have entered into this year with this council, with me as mayor, with Peter Zanoni as our city manager, and all of our assistant city managers. Today completes the piece of the puzzle that has been missing. So it's extremely exciting. We're so happy to welcome Andrea Gardner to our team. Again, this is a day that's just so special, and I hope that she, coming from out of town, has the same welcome that all of us feel here as a team, because she is going to be essential. And it is the most exciting time, Andrea, because you are and you will be a part of what this city is moving forward, what is already in motion and what is to continue with your leadership. So I welcome you to Corpus Christi. I welcome you to Team Corpus Christi. And I know we'll hear from you in just a moment, but with that, I'll introduce our wonderful city manager, Peter Zanoni, to give some words as well.
Great, thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. And good morning, everybody. We want to thank the media for being here today. We know that the media is an integral part of telling our story to the community, and we appreciate you being here early this morning. Mayor, thank you for being here and for those great opening remarks. And Councilman Molina, thank you for joining as well. We have several members of the City Manager's Office here as well this morning. So today, I'm pleased to announce that after an extensive local, statewide, and national search, I have appointed Andrea Gardner as our final Assistant City Manager to the City Manager's Office. With Andrea's appointment, I can now say that the city's executive leadership team and the City Manager's Office is complete, and it brings together a diverse group of 8 highly talented individuals, including 2 women, 2 African American, and 2 Hispanics. Each has a unique skill set and viewpoint who, with the mayor and the city council, will help guide our city into the future. Just for some background for you all, the executive leadership team in the City Manager's Office provides guidance to the city's 60 executives who oversee our 28 departments within our city organization, delivering vital services to the community every day. Andrea will play a key role in that. She will oversee several city departments, including our Parks and Recreation Department, the recently created Neighborhood Services Department that brought together several functions across the city that were kind of scattered to the organization. We brought those together under one department recently. That includes our code enforcement, animal care services, homelessness services, housing, our HUD entitlement grant management. Andrea will also oversee our libraries department, our planning and environmental services department, and as the mayor mentioned, some new things. In this, for the first time in 20 years, we're going to have an economic development department in our city's organizational chart. We haven't had that for at least 20 years. And so Andrea will oversee that Office of Economic Development. Now, we will continue to rely extensively on Regional Economic Development Corporation. We know that still exists. Our new Office of Economic Development will augment the EDC, and that is led by Ian Basie. Annually, the city, with City Council's approval, allocates nearly $800,000 to the EDC for their operations and to help the city in our economic development efforts. Andrea's background and wide-ranging experience in economic development will make her a perfect person to lead our new economic development department. This office, with Andrea's oversight, will focus on infill development, on small business recruitment and retention in our city. She'll work closely with some of our organizations, including the Downtown Management District, the American Bank Center, the Corpus Christi Hooks at Whataburger Field. Andrea, some background for her, brings 19 years of public sector experience to the city. Her service includes serving Texas communities of Pasadena, Pearland, Copers Cove, and Watauga. And before coming to Corpus Christi, just recently, she served as city manager for Watauga, Texas. That's up in Tarrant County near Fort Worth. There, she focused on mentoring others, providing meaningful leadership, teamwork, strategic management, and future planning. Through the partnership with the Watauga Economic Development Corporation in the city of Watauga, Andrea assisted that entity with economic development, facilitating such programs as business registration, business retention, and new business attraction. Economic development education completed over the past 2 years by Andrea will give her the required coursework to sit for a certified economic developer exam later this year, and that's by the International Economic Development Council. So she'll have that credential, which takes a lot of time to achieve, and we know she'll pass the test this fall. Prior to working in Watauga, she served as a combined 12 years as the assistant city manager and then city manager for Copers Cove, Texas, near Fort Hood. While she was there, she led several key projects, including the construction of a police substation, the relocation of a fire station, and multiple water and sewer and drainage projects as well. During her tenure as city manager, Copers Cove received 3 separate bond rating upgrades, so financial management's critical there as it is here, that culminated into a AA bond rating by Standard & Poor's for recognition of strong financial management. Andrea holds a Bachelor's of Science in Accounting, and she's a certified public manager as well. Now, it has been a pleasure getting to know Andrea through the extensive interview process. What we saw, and I know what everybody will see this morning and as we go forward, is that Andrea has a passion for public service, for community engagement, and for economic development. And we know that she will be instrumental in helping Corpus Christi, with the mayor and city council and our leadership team, becoming a top-tier city. And so with that, I'd like to introduce Andrea and have her talk to our community.
So thank you, Mayor Guajardo, the City Council, and Mr. Zanoni for that very warm welcome. I really appreciate that. I have also experienced quite a warm welcome from all of the city employees. I had many stop by yesterday and welcome me to the city of Corpus Christi, and I can't thank them enough for that warm welcome. I do think that Corpus Christi is a great community, and I look forward to working with Mr. Zanoni and the other executive staff to take this community forward, as Peter indicated, and being a top-tier community. I am a native Texan, and as Peter indicated, I have over 19 years of local government experience. As I have already expressed this morning, I am excited about the opportunities that are before me here in Corpus Christi. I think my past experiences will provide great benefit to this great community that already exists. Just to tell you a little bit about myself, I was born in Houston, spent half of my childhood in Houston and the other half in a small town in East Texas called Henderson. After completing high school, and it was a very short time, less than 30 days, I moved back to the Houston area and lived with my grandparents and worked a semester and went to college a semester, because I came from a family of 7 children and my parents just couldn't afford to send us to college. So I wanted to obtain that education, and I knew that I had to do it on my own. So I worked to make sure that I could pay for that without having to take grants and or have student loans once I completed my degree. So for that, I am very proud. After completing my education, I did accept a full-time position with the company in insurance that I had worked for all the while going through college. And after accepting that position with them, they sent me to a management training school in Overland Park, Kansas. And boy, what an experience that was. The snow there was unbelievable, and I couldn't wait to get back to Texas. So I returned to Texas. I was only there for the 2-year academy, and that's where I got a lot of my leadership training. I was very fortunate to be able to be given that opportunity, and I did stay in the insurance industry. And then after a few more years from returning to Texas, I decided to start a family. And I had twin daughters that will be 25 in the month of October, so that I'm very excited about. But shortly after they were born, I decided that it was time for a career change. So I made a career change and moved over from the insurance industry to local government. And with my finance background, I was given the opportunity to go to Texas Tech University and complete the government finance training course there. And from there, I moved on, as Peter indicated, to the city of Pearland, and I served as the assistant finance director and moved on to finance director about 18 months later. And then the opportunity came open in Copperas Cove after I completed my certified public manager training through the city of Pearland. And that was the finance director, assistant city manager. So I did that for many years, as Mr. Zanoni indicated, and was excited to be able to serve that community for a long time, but was ready to try something different. So decided to relocate to North Texas, where I joined the community of Watauga. And I spent a large amount of time focused on economic development in Watauga because they were lacking that and had lost a lot of the economic development growth that they had experienced in prior years to what is known as the Alliance area. And so I'm very proud of the efforts that we undertook in Watauga to improve economic development there, and look forward to utilizing the skills and the knowledge that I obtained, as Mr. Zanoni indicated, through the training that I went through while there in Watauga. I started my career in Pasadena in local government in the Parks and Recreation Department. So it feels really good to, as I told Sony this morning, kind of return home. So that is very exciting for me to be able to work with the Parks and Recreation Department. As city manager, you're tasked with, as Mr. Zanoni knows, many responsibilities, and that includes all departments of the city. So in our role as city manager, we get to touch all those departments in some capacity throughout our career. So as you can imagine, I did that with my contact through code enforcement. As many of you know, when you're working with code enforcement matters, those are very sensitive to a lot of individuals, and it's more about compliance than it is enforcement. And so I look forward to working with that division. And then while I was in Copperas Cove, I had the pleasure of working on a lot of grant funding programs, from transportation to housing and the like, economic development grants through the EDA, and I look forward to bringing that knowledge and experience that I obtained over the last 19 and a half years to help Corpus Christi move forward and become, as Mr. Zanoni indicated, a top-tier community. And again, I can't thank everybody enough for the very warm welcome that I have received here. It's a beautiful community. It's been a lifelong dream for me to be able to live and work in a coastal community. So I've actually applied for Corpus Christi more than once. So I was very excited that Mr. Zanoni and his team selected me. So thank you all very much. And I hope to bring great things to Corpus Christi and not disappoint. So thank you very much.
Okay, great job, Andrea. I think the community can see exactly why we selected her to be our final assistant city manager. So with that, I'm here, the mayor's here. If there's any questions from the media or the community. No questions? Cam, you got one for us? No. Okay, well, that concludes our briefing this morning. Thank you. We have city council at 11:30, and so we'll see everybody there. Thank you.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you.